welcome to another episode of the Richmond Public Library Presents Full Steam Ahead. I'm Robyn, and I am a library assistant over at Hull Street. I just want to say how much we miss y'all right now, and I also really miss the library because right now we are also not allowed in the building, which means we're also not allowed to get new physical books, and I really miss holding a new book in my hand. And if you're anything like me, you feel the same way. And so today I'm going to teach you how to make your own booklet or zine so that you can create it and you can have a complete little book. So what is a zine? If you've never heard that term before, it is basically just referring to a self-published or, just something you make all by yourself, a little booklet. It can include anything. People use it for comics, poetry, essays, art, really anything you want. And that's the beauty of zines, since it is something that you are doing all on your own. You can put anything you want on it and no one can tell you otherwise. So today we are going to learn specifically how to make a one-page zine. So we are making a little complete zine out of just one sheet of paper. So my favorite thing about the one-page zine is just how cheap and easy it is. Here are the supplies that you will need. You just need some writing utensils. You can use anything: pencil, pen, markers. You can paint if you want, if you have thick enough paper. You'll need scissors. We're only going to make one little cut, but it definitely is easier if they're sharper. And then you need one piece of paper. So I'm going to use a normal printer piece of paper. You can also use scrap paper. If you have something that at least has one blank side, then you're totally fine. Alright, so to make a one-page zine, you're going to start out with doing a series of folds. You're going to do it in half and then half again. So the first fold, you're going to do it all the way. Just fold it over to the longest. Now I usually just do it by hand, but some people prefer to use a clean ruler or a bookbinding tool to really get the folds as neat as possible. You definitely want to make sure they're tight, so I'm just really pushing it along there so that in the end the book lays as flat as it can. So after you have that first fold, you are going to just do it again. Fold that one in half. Again, getting it really tight. We're going to do another fold in half. You guessed it. So this one, now that that's a little thicker, it's harder to get it fully straight. So just make sure that you're kind of pinching at the corners, bringing it together to make sure that you are getting as straight a line as you can. All right, and now we're moving on to the next step. All right, for the next step, we're going to do a small cut. But first, you need to open up your folded piece of paper. See, you can see it has all the lines, and this is how it's going to be. Basically, each separate section is going to be your separate page. So, you're going to fold it in half, just this way. See, with the opening at the bottom, and you are going to cut from this top piece down to the middle there. now you have your piece of paper with the cut middle, and now we're going to do the folding, which isn't super complex, but it can look a little tricky if you haven't done it before. So what you're going to do is you're going to let it fold over the longest length down the middle, and you're going to hold each end, and you are going to push the sides together, and then you're going to force it over. And then you're going to do what we've been doing the whole time and get that crease rolled down. And now you have a little booklet. Alright, you've completed your first zine, but it's blank. So now what? Well, as we said before, you can pretty much put anything in a zine. You can do more of a chapbook, put poetry in it, you can use it as a journal, you can put comics in it. If you want to see some visuals, here are a few zines. This one is that piece of paper I showed earlier, just all folded up. It is a zine about making more zines. So you can do more instructional zines. You can do ones with more pictures in them, or you can do ones that are more text-based. If you are still unsure what you want to put in your zine, I have a prompt for you. So you don't have a full idea yet, but what you can do is either write or draw something on the cover and write and draw something on the back. And then you'll have to bridge the gap between the two. So when I was having a hard time one day coming up with something to draw, I did this little guy, and I wrote hello on the front and then goodbye on the back. And then I did some quick little drawings to get from that first page to that last page. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you liked it, and I hope that this means that you are creating your own home library of books that you've made yourself. Bye!